Good afternoon, fellow BMCers and friends and people that watch these kinds of things. We're going to try to revive our midweek little YouTubes that we do. I told someone that lately that I think that Pastor Wilmer has been pulling a Tom Sawyer on us. And they looked at me and said, "What?" And I said, well, at first he asked us to do these, and then he made it sound like it was so much fun that we not only wanted to do them, we were asking to do them. Yeah, I think we got, well, I won't use the word snookered into this thing, but we enjoyed it, and the first time around we're going to try to do a few more. Today I'd like to start off with a short 1 minute video. Please bear with it. There is a reason why I did it. I'm not just completely crazy. So watch the video. We'll come back and I'll illustrate. We'll tell you what we talked about there. Okay, this is a 1949 Chevrolet pickup. This is a 3600 3/4 ton. It's got the 8 lug wheels. Has the longer box on it. It's got the standard cab. Inline 6-cylinder. You can see there, overhead valve, inline 6-cylinder, original motor. Original paint, got an optional hood ornament, and it runs and drives and stops. Okay, so now you're really thinking, okay, did I get on the wrong channel? What is the reason for this guy wanting to see a video about an old truck? Well, the old truck makes a pretty good illustration. And there's a lot of different things that we could talk about there using that. We could say that a truck is like the church. There are a lot of things that go, a lot of parts that make it work. If the engine runs and everything else is good, but the brakes don't work, it's not very useful. So there are a lot of sub-assemblies that have to make it work. Now, the other one could be, you know, if you look at this, from about 20 feet away, it looks like a really nice truck. If you get a little closer, you can start to see some some things that aren't quite right. And that's like a lot of things. Sometimes things look really good on the outside, but if you look on the inside, it's a whole complete different story, or the other way around. But today, what I'd like to do is continue our theme that we've kind of picked up. I like to call it our COVID theme. Patience, flexibility, and extending grace. Now, if you look at a pickup, there is a lot of things that have to be worked on when you take this pickup that hasn't run for 20 years and bring it home. There's a lot of things to check. The fuel system. Is it got oil in it? Is it water? Does everything work right? And it just takes, for some people, I don't have the patience to do that. I'm not a puzzle solver. Now, some people like Jake, they can take that pickup apart, and when it's time to put it back together, they remember everything, and they can make it work. It just takes a little patience. And that's the same way in our church life. Right now, there's a lot of different things going around. A lot of different things to read on this or that, or why not. Let's be patient with each other and try to understand. Ask questions. Try to find out if there's a person that you don't understand their perspective. Ask the questions. Find out why they think the way they do. Secondly is flexibility. Now, if you grow up on a farm, you know sometimes that you can't always put things back together just exactly the way they came apart. I like to think that maybe sometimes you need to just tie them together and get it through till you can get the job done and get it done. Some people couldn't do that. It would have to be fixed like factory. And so you have to learn to be flexible. Sometimes you need to just do some things that you normally wouldn't do. Not that you're changing your attitude, but you have to be flexible. And that's, again, is the way it is in our church family. We need to understand, we need to try to the opposite of flexible is rigid. And if we're very rigid and we have to sit in the same pew every Sunday and we have to do things the same way every Sunday, that probably is not going to work well. So we all need to give a little give and take. And finally, about extending grace. How does that have to do with the truck? Well, when you bring the truck home on a trailer, and it's your third project vehicle that you've trailered into the yard, and you learn a lot about extending grace, especially if you're the wife of a mechanic. It works, it gets done, but you wonder sometimes. So, again, in our church life, we need to be open, we need to be flexible, but we need to extend grace and think about how people have done that for us. I don't know if any of this makes sense or not, but that's today's story. Stay healthy, stay safe, and happy trails.